Hello and welcome to another episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club. I'm Pat Baer, your host, and this is my ongoing video series where every other Monday I get to talk about something from the world of anime that I want to chat with you about. It could be a deep dive into a particular subgenre, or a look ahead at the upcoming season, or just me talking about some stuff I really like. And in this case, it's not actually Pat Baer's Anime Club. It's Pat Baer's Manga Club, but that's right. We're back at it again, talking about manga. Maybe you can tell from the comic panels. They're my background for this. But yeah, let's talk about some cool manga. And specifically, let's talk about a fifth video about weird manga premises. That's right. I've done 4 of these already. This is the 5th one. You can find them in the show description below. I'll link to all of the other videos where I talked about weird manga premises. Now, weird doesn't have to be bad. In some cases, it's good. Some of these are good things that I do want to talk about, that I'm like excited to chat with you about. And then some of them I'm just like, why did this exist and come out and continue to exist? What are we talking about here? Let's get started with one that I'm going to give a little caveat here. Right away, you might think, Pat, this is not a weird manga premise, but I'll explain. Eldive is a manga about a kid who has always had a voice in his head. And maybe it was an imaginary friend, or maybe he's going crazy, but no, it's not either of those things. The voice inside of his head is actually an alien that has lived with him, that is inside of him. And that alien eventually invites him to join the space police. And then he goes on wacky adventures with a bunch of other aliens as they protect the galaxy from harm. And yeah, that's not weird if you read a lot of manga and watch a lot of anime. But I am in this with you. We are used to it. We are like, it bounces right off of us. You telling me, oh yeah, this kid becomes a space cop because the alien that lived inside of him is like, hey, I'd love you to do this. Come hang out. That's weird. It's really, really weird. This weird symbiotic relationship thing going on there. That's strange. Okay? It's a strange idea. It's just that we're conditioned to not think it's that weird. So I'm easing us in here to realize this is weird. And the other 4 I'm going to talk to you about are weirder and weirder and weirder. And we can't ignore the fact that all of these got made. They're all manga. And in the case of, I believe, 2 of these, anime. At least one. I think another one got an anime. But one of these has an anime. And that's insane as well. So just like realize that things have gotten so out of hand that the idea of this particular manga isn't that weird. But it is. It's weird. Here's our next one. Shonen Shoujo. This is the story about a young boy who is not a good person and not well liked. People do not like him. He is like cynical for his age and kind of a fucking bummer to be around. And the only thing he wants is to be remembered. He wants to be unique and to be remembered. He's 11. Come on, kid. But anyway, he contracts a rare disease. It's so rare that it doesn't have a name yet. And by the age of 12, he will die. How do we know that? Don't worry about it. And that does a lot for him. They'll probably, we don't know for sure, but they'll probably name it after him if he's the first kid to die of it. Within this year, he'll die of it, and then it'll be named after him, and he'll be remembered forever. It'll be written down in the books. So good. Except that he ends up by chance meeting a young girl who is almost 12. And she's also got the same disease. And she's definitely going to die sooner than he is. So he thinks about a plan to kill her before she dies of the disease. And that's the plot of this fucking manga. It's crazy, and it's, again, from his fucking perspective. Have I read this? No, I don't want to read this. Maybe it's great, but I'm okay with not knowing what the deal is with Shonen Shoujo. I think it's okay. I think it is okay for me to not know, but that is crazy that there's an 11-year-old thinking like, well, you got this almost 12-year-old's got to die before she dies of this illness, so I'll die of the illness, it'll be named after me. That's insane. That's a fucking manga. But again, this was also weird. This is also a weird manga premise. It's just not as weird as this. I can't believe I got to this. I didn't talk about this in the other videos. I double checked that I didn't talk about Saint Young Men before, but I didn't talk about Saint Young Men before. This is the one that of these 5 is probably the most well known, statistically anyway, because people have talked about this one. The Buddha and Jesus have decided that they're going to go on a long vacation together, and they're going to live amongst the people in Tokyo and kind of see what's up. They're just in Tokyo in modern day, and they're seeing what's going on. And it's a slice of life, a comedic slice of life about their misadventures. Kind of like getting, like being roommates, getting an apartment, dealing with humans, observing their culture and embedding themselves in it. And it's, I mean, to some people, I am sure that this is sacrilege, but it's not. It doesn't feel like it's trying to be sacrilegious. I have read this and I enjoy it. But also, it's fucking weird, right? The Buddha and Jesus are hanging out in modern times. Like, what? That's weird. The fact that it's a Japanese manga, again, weird, strange. But like, yeah, all right. And it's good, like I said. The next 2 that I'm talking about, I'm going to get through these pretty quickly. This is going to be on a shorter side of the video because the next 2 I have not read. One as an anime adaptation I have not watched. I don't want this to be like, what are we doing here kind of rants, but I do want to expose you to some weird manga because maybe one of these you'll want to pick up. You might want to watch 14, or read, I should say, 14. I've been going with volume 1s of these, except that this one is incredible. Volume 18 is just incredible of this. This is 14. This is pretty much, it's not post-apocalyptic, but it's like the verge of apocalypse. It is in the distant future. Environmental stuff, the destruction is just awful. Everything's messed up. And I don't think he's doing it because the world is destroyed. I think he's doing it just because he's evil. But there's an evil doctor, a scientist doctor, that makes Chicken George. That's Chicken George. I don't know if you can see Chicken George is there. Chicken George is half man, half chicken. And he was created solely to destroy all of humanity, whatever is left of humanity. And he doesn't want to do that. So he has to fight a bunch of other monstrosities that Dr. Watman made. And then figure out what his place is in the world. And also discover the truth behind the ecological disaster that the world is facing. And that's half man, half chicken named Chicken George is the hero of this, and he is legitimately the hero. And that's just unbelievably bizarre. It's very strange. I love this image of these kids, and apparently Chicken George is busting his head through a wall or a cave or something. I don't know. It's weird and cool. I kind of want to read it. It is a weird premise, by far, and I do want to check it out. But I have saved the best for last. This just had an anime adaptation. I did not watch it. It is, I mean, look, there's like there's been some weird ones we've talked about here. I've talked about some really strange ones. This next one is just incredibly bizarre, and I don't know, man. Darwin Incident is a manga, and it had an anime adaptation this year. And that's just bizarre. Charlie was involved in some sort of genetic experimentation. Because scroll back. Human testing with humans and stuff has been happening in this world, and there's a extremist group. There is like an animal rights group, but they're like PETA, but like they're like out there making things happen. They're considered a terrorist group. The Animal Liberation Alliance, they break into this biological research institute, and they rescue this injured pregnant chimpanzee who gives birth to Charlie, who is half man, half chimpanzee. He is a human-zee. And then a human couple adopts him, and then he gets to go to high school at age 15. He meets a girl. He's got combined strengths and powers unparalleled by chimpanzees and humans. And guess what? People are fucking weirded out by it, which we're supposed to be mad about, right? This fear, this prejudice, this hatred. The idea of, should Charlie even exist? These are very big questions that we should grasp. But also, other extremist groups are also like, wait, we got to free him. He shouldn't be with humans. And then there's like scientist groups like that want to study him and dissect him. And he just wants to be a guy, and like he met a girl, and he'd like to be a high school student and make friends. And it's like, why did this happen? Hey, welcome to How Did This Get Made? I don't know how. It's a question mark. I don't have an answer. It's like, how? What? Why would this happen? Why did this get an anime adaptation? What do you mean there's a human? When you write down in a Word document or scrap paper or whatever, human-zee, that's your cue to stop. This shouldn't be a thing. The Darwin Incident shouldn't be a fucking manga that I'm talking to you about right now. What are we doing here? There's an anime. You can watch the anime. I didn't, but you can watch it. That's going to do it. This is the 5th video about weird manga premises. Again, I don't have any answers for you. Saint Young Men is good. Eld Live, I would probably read. I don't think I want to know anything more about Shonen Shoujo or 14, or maybe 14, but definitely not Darwin Incident. I'm good. So yeah, that another Pat Bear's Manga Club. I should probably do another like manga roundup of stuff I'm reading, stuff that like, or I did a video, a Pat Bear's Manga Club, about manga that finished and was fully translated into English, and I could do another round of that maybe, because there are a few more that have come out since then, or some that I didn't mention that have been out for a while that you could track down. So maybe I'll do that. I don't know if I will, but I might do that. I do know what the next episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club is going to be. I can tell you that, because it'll be my recommendations for this season. The spring 2026 season has been happening now. At the time of this recording, the 3 or 4 episodes in at least. And by the time I put up a video, more episodes will come out, 5 or 6 episodes. So that feels like a good enough time to give some recommendations of some stuff that I have been enjoying. Both returning shows and also new shows. A nice little blend. So yeah, I hope you will check out that video in the future. If you have ideas for future videos, I do have a few here in my my doc folder. I do have a few that I'm looking at here. A couple of them I have to wait until I have to wait a little while, at least on like my favorite originals from 2020. I'm going to do more of those, or the 2020s, I should say. I am going to do a like weird anime premises, which will be mostly like stuff that isn't from manga or light novel. So like probably video game adaptations that are weird or just originals. I am going to do that because I think that would be cool. The 25th of May, or May 23rd is the Anime Awards. So I'll be able to talk about that in a video. So that's coming next month as well. You know, I got a few things to chat with you about when it comes to some videos. But if you have ideas for stuff that you would like me to cover, please leave that in the comments below. Share this with a friend. Let me know if you've read any of these or if you watched Darwin Incident. I don't know. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next one. Goodbye.